As a musician, you want to make money off of your craft and your hard work, but doing so may not be as easy as it sounds, especially if you're just starting out. Right now on the Mavens, you'll spend a day in the life of Yzabel BeauBien, the president and co-founder of J'imagine Consultants, a firm dedicated to helping all types of people in the creative industry secure funding for their projects. After over 20 years of experience in the industry, she's a valuable resource and mentor.
J'imagine Consultant is a company who do two things basically. We do consultation, so we do help artists, again, artists, producers, record companies, to guide them and to tell them what they should do to get some grants. And also, J'imagine Consultant is a service of executing the actual applications of grants and subsidized. Okay, today I'm here to talk to you about music funding, public funding mostly, because this is what I'm a maven at. I'm an expert at public funding, but even though you're not directly, if you're not an artist or a creator or a producer, even if you're someone involved in the studio or like a producer, you could be an eligible expense in the budget of someone else. The presentation was about musical funding, so how they can, as artists, as producers of their own project, how they can maneuver through, the government grants and subsidize. I was trying to give them really the basics of, how they should plan ahead and how they should think of their project as far as funding is concerned.
You can act as both, say, producer and executive producer on a project, or does it have to be two different people?
You can. No, you can play both roles, but
better if there's two people?
It depends. Obviously, the credibility of the producer, like music producer, is going to play a big role in the credibility of the grant. I think those students particularly, they're not too young, so they have projects, so it can apply to them right away. And that's the goal. I mean, if they're too not sure what they want to do, and so then it's a little bit useless because they cannot apply what I'm saying to them right away. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you submit your project to the jury and the jury is sitting there and they're listening to your project, which is, say, songs for an album,
yeah.
What are they looking for? Do they look at the quality or the creativeness behind the music, or?
Well, it depends on the step you're at, okay. But for production, it definitely...
The pre-production.
The pre-production?
Yeah.
Well, it needs to be very inventive and creative. It does not need to be quality yet. People who start up, what they need usually is knowledge, for sure. They need to understand how it works because it can be a little complex and it can be a little confusing, and not that many information is out there. When you start, you need to learn a lot on your own. And what you need also is a network. You need to know people. You need to go to the places where it's happening. And, you cannot just stay in your room and put some clips on YouTube. I mean, yeah, sure, you can do that too, but I mean, if you do only that, I don't believe that you can build a career out of that. La cafétéria, c'est où? Par là? I'm going to participate in a panel of, we were 3 presenters today here at Musitechnique, so we're going to be answering questions, additional questions. Tu veux-tu dire au monde qu'est-ce qui se passe parce qu'il y en a plusieurs qui n'étaient pas là.
What do you see in your part of the industry today? What are the new things that have been coming out in the latest years that changed how we do things? And where do we can imagine ourselves in 5 years, let's say, or at least 3 years? What's the...
Moi, je pense que il y a définitivement, surtout en musique, il y a le numérique, bien sûr, qui est entré en ligne de compte. Je pense que c'est le plus grand bouleversement. Ça fait quand même plusieurs années, mais je pense que ça continue à évoluer vers là.
There have been so many changes already. The only thing I wish will change, and I know that some associations are working hard on the process, is to try to get some more revenues from the web, mainly because the music industry, because of the shift to the internet, the revenues did not follow. So this is a big problem right now because the web needs content and we still produce great content, but there are no revenues coming from the web whatsoever. But there are people making a lot of money. So we need laws, we need a way. So this, I hope, will definitely change.
Getting paid, that's also part of the job.
I've always been driven. I've always had perseverance and hard work. I've made some mistakes too. I mean, I'm not perfect for sure. But I've always had this thing. Like I was 110 pounds heavier, like a few years ago. And just as I did start my company and as I approach any kind of project, I decided that I was going to work on that. And so I lost that weight. And also I became a freak of obstacle courses. So this is something, bizarrely, it's something that is directly for me linked to my entrepreneur skills because the strength and the perseverance and the efforts that I put there helped me also to put even more, strength and perseverance. And I did apply the same pattern of how I did things there that I do now.
Come on in! Bon, ça va bien?
Oui.
Oui. Je peux-tu vous offrir un verre d'eau? All right. Super. Bon, fait que... où est-ce que vous en êtes dans votre projet? Je pense que vous êtes en amont d'un prochain album.
Ouais.
Oui, super. Vous êtes rendu où dans le processus?
On est rendu à 6-7 tunes peut-être, fait que ça commence à être le temps de checker ça, là, pour les subventions et tout.
Oui.
When I do meet a band and or an artist, and then if I decide that I can help them, it is because they're going to have something to offer. They're going to be organized enough. Maybe they need a little more, but they will be, focused enough. They will be proud of their material, like their music, what they have in hand. This is super important.
Moi, les subventions, on s'en va au Canadian Music Week, là, en fait, la semaine prochaine. Puis ça fait 4 mois que ma page est ouverte sur Google, puis il faut que je fasse ma demande là, de subvention, puis je l'ai pas encore faite. Là. Fait que
pour Showcase?
Ce genre-là, là, ouais.
Oh, OK.
Fait que en tout cas.
Parce que Conseil des arts du Canada, subvention de voyage aux musiciens.
Oui.
Fondation Socan, vitrine à l'étranger. Sinon, il y a aussi le calque déplacement. Mais là...
C'est vraiment un petit montant, là, c'est 750.
Ben, ça peut quand même... Mais parce que tout ça peut être cumulable, là.
We talked about the grants that we can apply for our fourth album. There's a lot of possibilities. There's like so much information, and they kind of give you a boost. They tell you like you got to do it now. And
Pourquoi t'es pas venu nous voir avant?
Je pensais que c'était rétroactif. Moi, on m'avait dit que oui.
Because as musicians, you just have those piles of paper that's on your desk, and they sleep there for a long time, and especially on mine. And so I come and see them, and they say, well, this one has to be done.
Avez-vous déjà votre artist rating sur Factor?
Non, c'est ça l'affaire. J'ai fait le applicants, puis là j'allais faire le artist, puis là j'avais besoin de tellement de chiffres, puis je les ai ramassés un peu partout, puis quand je les ai eus, j'ai juste pas fait la demande.
T'as juste pas fait, OK.
Non.
Malheureusement, il va être un peu tard parce qu'il faut nécessairement que tu remplisses d'abord tout ce qu'il faut pour obtenir ton artist rating.
Ouais.
Tant que t'as pas ça, c'est comme si t'existais pas dans leur dossier. Well, my part is really to help them mostly to get funding for their project. So hopefully, if it works, it helps them to, get to the next step. I'm not a manager anymore, so my role is not to supervise and to strategize with them for like the next 5 to 10 years. This is the job of a manager. I don't do that anymore. But for me, it's like a little more like short term, but it's always focused on one project and one objective, and if they can get to the next level, well then at least, and I do meet all sorts of artists, like from every level. Some are really beginning, but some are already established, so they don't have the same goals either.
Merci,
merci à vous autres, Colin. Fait que, tiens-moi au courant.
Ouais.
Merci,
Isabelle.
Yeah, working with Yzabel has been really good for us. I mean, we've received money that we wouldn't have received otherwise. It enabled us to make the two previous records, work on them more than we would have otherwise, and I don't want to do this. Like, it's not a part of being a musician that I want to deal with, so it really helps that those guys exist and they can do it for you and just clear your head to make other stuff like music,
Je pense que quand on se lance en musique, peu importe le chapeau qu'on porte, c'est quand même important de bien comprendre comment l'industrie est organisée, parce que nécessairement, on devra s'y frotter. On devra peut-être collaborer avec elle, peut-être pas, mais au moins si on sait qu'elle est là, puis comment qu'elle fonctionne, ça peut, on peut mieux, je pense, naviguer autour. Fait que je vais vous inviter à regarder l'organigramme que je vous ai imprimé. L'organigramme, c'est vraiment quelque chose que j'ai mis dans mon livre. C'est vraiment les différents secteurs, puis c'est vraiment l'industrie de la musique. The book I wrote, which is called Quand le show devient business, for now, because it's only in French, it gives musicians and players of the music industry, especially who start, it gives them a portrait of the music industry, and it also gives them tips on how to develop their business side, because usually artists, this is what they lack. They have the talent, they have the musicality, but they usually, the business side is a little harder for them. So this is what I try to give them. And I also found like 25 people from the music industry, people from my network, my clients, who are like super well established, to again, to give them tips and to share their stories and how they made it in the music industry. Ça dépend de ta situation, ça dépend qu'est-ce que tu veux faire. Parce que d'aller te magasiner une maison de disques, c'est vrai que certaines maisons de disques peuvent effectivement t'amener beaucoup plus loin. Mais ça va quand même être une relation d'affaires. Puis même si tu trouves la bonne maison de disques, ben il y a quand même des choses qu'eux vont prendre en main, puis tu n'auras pas le contrôle sur ça. The goal to be signed with a record company for a band can still be a thing. It still can be a good thing, but it's not necessarily the only way, for sure. I mean, before, yes, but now I know many bands and artists who do it like mostly on their own. They do have to find some collaborators. I think it's still important. Some specific jobs are, you should have collaborators. But I mean, yes, you can do most of the things on your own. You can sell your own things. You can promote your own things, like, you know, on the social media and stuff. But yeah, sometimes it's only, I mean, I think the intelligent thing to do is just to go get the essential collaborators that you need, but you can still do a lot on your own.
Well, the workshop for me today was amazing because I really needed some help regarding our album release. It's very soon, and I needed to know the best contacts that I have to meet right now. And we had a lot of information, really good quality. She's really well plugged, so it's a huge help for me.
Getting a grant, like, I've been trying to do that for a long time, and personally I find it almost impossible to do it myself. And thank God I met Yzabel, and I got a grant. Like, I even got one for a few thousands. So she's the bomb.
When the day is over and I know that I've met, you know, with some clients, and I've done workshops, and I've met with students, and everybody is happy, and I do know that I've bring them something that they want, that they need, especially that they need, well, this for me is the reward. Of course, it's a business, and I do get paid, and I do charge, you know, for my consultation and stuff, but it's also to really, it's to help them, basically.